Well, I suppose when Orna was born first, we were advised to sign her up into the special school by our service advisors, and we did that, and I just thought that's fine now, sure, we'll never have to look at that again, because I have 3 other daughters, and I always felt that I wanted her to experience school with them and to be part of the community, and I felt that if she wasn't there, that in the school, that no one would know her, and she wouldn't be, alongside her peers and stuff. But as she got a bit older and we got the assessment done, she actually qualified to get into the special school, and to be honest, I got a bit of a land, because I just thought, oh no, she's not that bad, for want of a better word. So I said I'd go down and look at the school, and to be honest, I was in there for 10 minutes and I just totally changed my whole way of thinking. I could see that she would absolutely fly in the school, because of the systems that are set up are specifically for children like Orna. Visual prompting and scheduling, and a lot of tabletop, which she loved. And even though we had been talking to our mainstream school, they were going to great lengths, in fairness, because they'd never had Shabbat Down syndrome in the school before, and they were all sorted out to go to the law, of course, and to go on courses for the summer to help Orna. I just kind of felt that I had to trust my heart and my gut, and my gut was telling me now that she was about to start school at 6, that really the special school was probably best for her. And of course we went in with the vision that we would do maybe education sharing, that she could go to her own school for maybe 4 days a week, and then come back to our own mainstream school 1 day a week, and be part of it then. But as time wore on, I said, well, maybe not for the first year, we just leave it there, because it would be confusing for her. And really, it never kind of came up again. She just loved it so much, and she got on so well, that we said, why break something that's not, or fix something that's not broken? And I suppose I just felt it might be confusing for her, but also she has a younger sister who's it would be in the same class as her, because Orna started a year later than she should, and for her I felt that it wouldn't be fair in her to have her sister that everyone thinks is beautiful and wonderful in her class, because her friends might drop her and go to Orna because she'd be new and she'd be fun and she'd be there every Friday, whatever. So kind of looking at it from a whole family point of view, what was best for Orna, but also what kind of was best for her younger sister, was to leave her separate. Now, she's not out of the loop in the in the community, because I have 4 daughters, and the other 3 girls play camogie, and they're down to basketball, and like Orna gets dragged along to everything, so everybody knows her anyway. And that would have been my one thing, that I didn't want her to be kind of different to everybody else. But really, it doesn't really matter what school you're in. If you're part of the community, you're just part of the community,
Okay.
So I suppose I found that it was my views of what I thought I would do when she was going to school totally turned upside down when it actually came to the time that we had to make a decision. And it was very difficult for us to make the decision, but not after I'd been to see the school. Do you know?
Assessments, or was it?
Well, the assessments was I suppose the assessment was the initial thing, because she got a high and moderate result, and like I wanted her to get a moderate result because I wanted her to get extra hours in resource in mainstream. But when she got the high and moderate, I suppose it was a bit of a shock to me. I suppose, I don't know why, but I thought that she was kind of better than that, if you know what I mean. But then it was explained to me that actually high and moderate, next thing from that is mild. I thought it was the other way around. Of course, I hadn't known that, so that probably was most of the shock. What influenced us to do it? I tell you, I spoke to a man who teaches in a special school, and he asked me, I don't know him, it was a friend of mine gave me his number, and he asked me 2 questions, and he just said to me, what do you want for your daughter when she's 18? And then, which system is going to prepare her to be what you want her to be at 18. And he said to me, when you have the answers to those 2 questions, come back to me. And he said, we'll talk it through again. And sure, I was off the phone 5 minutes, and I just said, well, obviously I want Orna to be independent. I just want her to be Orna McCarthy, not Orna with Down syndrome. Like, I just want her to be the same as my other 3 daughters. And in my view, which system was going to help prepare her for being an adult at 18 was the special school, because they do fantastic, like she goes shopping, they go cooking, like she's learning to mind her own money now. They actually kind of bring a lot of everyday skills into the classroom, like things like peeling a carrot, that's fine motor skills, you know, dexterity, and also learning how to peel a carrot. I mean, that would really never happen, in my opinion, in our other school, because they just don't have time, there's too many kids in the class. And also it's nice for her to be around, this is going to sound dreadful now, but like people like her, you know, that they're her friends, they're her peer group, more so than mainstream children. Do you know what I mean? That she, you know, they learn at different speeds and they like different things. Just like every child is different, I suppose, really. But I kind of felt that like it was the going to the actual school helped me to, or us to decide that really that was the option for Orna.
And what is an inclusive school for you? Like, what do you...
An inclusive school is that, okay, this is going to sound kind of contradictory, but like everybody is treated the same, but they're treated differently. Like we have, we meet with the school, with the teacher, and we do an IEP meeting, which is an individual educational program. And like I suppose one of my flags for not wanting to send Orna to, when I didn't know any better, to the special school was that she'd only be as good as the best in her class, you know, which was totally naive of me, really, because I didn't realise that every child has their own education. Every child in the world learns differently anyway, at a different level, but within the special school they will, they will work out, you know, her strengths and help her to build on those and find her weaknesses and help her to bring them up. So obviously, more so than it would be, in my opinion, in a mainstream school, because they just have so much of a workload. Like there's only 6 children in Orna's class, and I mean they can really concentrate on helping her to get to her best. But her education plan is actually planned around her needs, not other children in the class. I mean they all do it together, but if she gets to go ahead of somebody else or if she's behind somebody else, she's kind of encouraged to keep going and come up to the same level. So I suppose there's great, we meet with we also have a speech therapist in the school, we have an OT, and we have a physiotherapist, and there's also a psychologist, you know, available to us in the school, which makes it so much easier. Like even as a mom's workload, I'm not in the car half as often as I was before she started school, because I don't have to take her out of school and rush to speech therapy or take her to, you know, to an appointment here, there and everything. It's all kind of built around the school, more so than it would be if I was in mainstream and I would just be like every other parent waiting for their turn for the 6 weeks of speech therapy every 2 years, whereas we get it ongoing in the school, and the teachers know so much from being there for so long. Now obviously the speech therapy amount has been reduced in the last year or so, but I mean the teachers are every bit, if not nearly, you know, as proficient as the speech therapist is now, because they're at it so long. They know exactly what to do, and they plan the program together, more so than trying to come back to your teacher if you're in a mainstream school and say, well, the speech therapist said you need to work on this. So that's what I find great. It kind of helps my workload, which was a bit crazy there for the first couple of years because we were in the car running pillar to post.
And so you think together?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
Oh God, okay. Yeah. They have team meetings every so often, and everything is documented so that if you were, you know, concerned about one particular thing and you felt that it hadn't been highlighted, you know, you can say it to them, and then in the next meeting they'll bring it up, or even, you know, when they're passing in the corridor, they could have a quick chat about, you know, what I'd have concerns about, and they would always send home a form to me before the IEP meeting and say, you know, is there anything that you think that Orna needs help with, or that she isn't progressing as fast as you'd like her to since the last meeting? And then we'd sit down together and we'd all work her out what we felt she was able to do and what I felt that I was able to help her with at home, and to kind of continue that on that in the class.
Okay. And
Trust your gut instinct. I mean, I would have been, oh no, Orna's not going to special school. No way. She's gone to mainstream with her sisters. And I suppose I was fortunate enough that somebody had said to me, put her name down anyway. Like when she was born, put her name down anyway. Sure, you can always say no if the place is given to you. And I trusted my gut instinct when I went there, because I mean, I went in saying, look, I'll go in anyway because I better, because they asked me to go in. But like, as I say, I was there 10 minutes and it totally changed my whole reasoning about it, and I could see that she would absolutely thrive. And she runs out to that bus every morning. I go to school today. She absolutely loves it. And now the homework is stepping up as well, which is which is great. But like, it just shows that she is, progressing well enough that she can do a little bit more homework at home, and she doesn't mind doing it. We sit down at the table together, myself and my other daughter is younger than Orna, and we all the three of us sit down and do our homework together. So again, she's getting part of, and actually Mirren actually helps her with homework, which is great. But the thing is really to trust your gut instinct. Get as much information from everybody. Ask everybody what they, what they think you should do, but just talk to a few people, and by talking to them, you begin to start asking questions of yourself and of your own family situation, but also what you feel would be best for your child. And like, even when you go to hospital, the doctor would always say, don't ever feel bad about coming in, because we always know the mother knows their child the best. So
okay.
Other people's attitudes to the fact that I was sending Orna to school, to the mainstream or to the special school, as in other parents that had children with Down syndrome that were going down along the mainstream route, kind of looked at me as if I was taking the easy way out. Now, not all of them, of course, but I was amazed that some people looked at me like as if to say, oh, are you kind of giving up on her? Or, maybe that was a little bit of my feeling that I would have felt, starting off. But like, apart from in the school, no, not really. I mean, we're very fortunate that Our Lady Good Counsel School is a fantastic school, and all the teachers and everyone in there are brilliant. And I've never had a problem. Never once had a problem. Please God, touch wood, she's a long way to go yet, but no.
Okay.